And we're out here.
Digital good time. 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 She left this on your laptop. 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 She left this on your laptop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Squizzy Squad is in the building. And I go by the name of Small Eyes with a Z. Who else do we have with us in the Squeeze Squad Zoom space?
Squid Preston.
Squid Press. And who else? You're on mute. You're on mute, good sir, Tristan.
There we go.
Yeah, I was like, they can't even hear you, bruh.
Can't even hear it. How y'all doing?
What did you didn't say your name? They didn't hear that part.
I said it like 3 times.
No, you're
After
Zoom.
the
You're
mute.
muted.
Yep.
Muted.
Even after the mute though, I was like Kavari.
Yeah, we didn't.
Like,
No. Nope.
No, you're gonna listen back to the playback. You're gonna be like, oh wow.
Squidvari.
Kavari. Okay, anyways, he just freaking delayed us from our intro. And yeah, Ashley's on her way, man. We out here. This is gonna be a very unique episode.
On her cyberway. Not her
on our cyberway. You know, you gotta walk down the cyber streets to get to the cyber blocks. This episode is brought to you by Sex.
What have we done to the world? Look what we've done.
The soundboard's in effect. I got all kinds of shit ready to go. This episode's brought to you by Sex, but this is not going to be as linear as that. We're really going to be talking about sex and dating in the digital quarantine era that we're in right now. So we have a really dope guest, Tia of Sex Down South, and they bring kind of like sex education and I would say events designed to gather groups of people who are marginalized and, you know, don't really know about ways to express their sexuality. So they're giving people open spaces to create and share and explore. And we live in exploratory times. That's for damn sure. So that's going to be exciting. But before we get into that, we're going to get into the warm-up, and it goes like...
Lights please, turn off the lights. For now, everything just seems so right.
J. Cole, man. What can you say? Cole World. So this just came in, I believe, maybe a few days ago, and I'll read the quotes. Mr. Cuomo, who he himself supposedly is. It's interesting, all these people who are leaders or just people who are competent leading this coronavirus strategy or attack are being put into like the sexy category. Like they're saying Dr. Fauci's should be on the sexiest man's list, and Governor Cuomo, just all this kind of shenanigans shit. But Cuomo's rankings have gone up because he's been competent and he's been doing what he's, you know, for the most part, what he should be doing. And he's just now signed an executive order that is going to allow people to get marriage licenses remotely via Zoom. Because again, they're trying to promote as most social distancing as possible, since they are, for lack of a better term, ground zero and, you know, no joke, for, you know, the highest per capita deaths and impact on COVID-19 in America. So that shit's a game changer, man. I guess it will set precedent that if New York does it, then that means everyone's going to do it. And that means that now you can get married butt ass naked in your living room.
That's the first thing you go to.
I mean, I'm just saying that's an option now.
Hey, because we were talking about being naked last time.
Oh, okay.
So now he's like getting with it. He's like, yeah, because you know there's a lot of people that's naked right now, so it's just funny.
Straight up. Hey man, all I'm saying
is Ashley maybe jumping in as well.
Yeah, she's gonna jump into the swimming pool. So to catch our listeners up again, this is Digital Good Times. This is Digital Quarantine Times, I should say. Zoom edition. This is our 7th episode, but it's our 2nd time doing this Zoom. So bear with us, man, as we keep getting the kinks worked out. Ashley's coming in now. She's checking in upon Zoom tings. liquor shot.
I thought we ran out of time.
Well, hey, I'm giving the shout outs, okay? And so yeah, I want to get y'all thoughts, man. Especially you being somebody who is currently engaged. Talk to the people, man, about what
we're supposed to have the wedding. We're supposed to have the wedding in June 27th, but we definitely got to push it back. And we had been seeing people getting married on Zoom, but not sounds official. You know, they were just on Zoom for the friends and family.
Yeah,
it was there. So the fact that it's legal now, I don't know, but it still be weird.
And I guess for some people, like if they've already spent a lot of money on putting a wedding together, then they may not have the option to push back at this point. So they may just be going forward with doing whatever they can. Yeah. So if you're in that situation where maybe you were within weeks of your wedding, you may go with that option of doing a Zoom wedding, doing a digital wedding.
Yeah, if you really can't turn around. I mean, that would suck though.
Right. I'm sure they'll still try to. I'm sure there's but there's people in different situations, or there may be someone who like they're looking for the legal benefits of marriage.
Or they're really set on that date. Some people are really like, hey, it needs to be this day regardless of what happens.
Yeah, but I mean, to Jack's point too, since we know the trajectory of, we'll just to make everything current, that Facebook announced, and a lot of companies are going to follow in suit, that a lot of big events aren't going to be at this current trajectory be set until late fall 2021. And so you could say then that just normal events and things of that nature, even going down to government offices, which are normally pretty crowded, may be limited. So this could become a thing that they do that may even have a reduced rate. Like, hey, get your online marriage license for half of coming down to the actual, studio, or I'm sorry, not studio, to the government to get it. Sorry, I just got distracted because Tia just came in. She just hit in. We'll let her jump on in here too. So, I mean, it's just the new normal. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be a part of our conversation too, as we dive into talks of sex.
All them people back on the beach in Florida.
Sexuality and things like that in the digital era, in the quarantine era. Like, what are the new ways that we're going to have to embrace and become common form? Yeah, she's coming in. You on mute right now, but live and direct with us. Digital Good Times, what it do and what it does. Miss Tia, can you hear us? Are you good? How you feeling?
She's muted. You're muted.
You're muted. You're muted right now. If you decide you don't.
You hear me?
Yes. We did it. We did it, America. We done did it. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
We're doing pretty fine. Pretty fine. We are excited to have you on the show, and especially to have a topic of this nature, because real talk, like probably the best episode that we didn't record. I don't know, you've done, I'm sure, tons of shows, tons of podcasts and media. It'll be those things that you do off air that is like the real sauce. But we had like a precursor to this conversation. Tristan, Ashley, and his lovely fiance, the wonderful and amazing Amber. And we were talking about, just kind of off the cuff, got into a conversation about porn, and and then we started really getting into like deep conversations about all kinds of things. We're talking polyamory, talking about different kinds of sexual lifestyle, sexual fetishes, and like really cool, like super dope conversation that a lot of people don't tend to have on a normal basis. And so this is something that we're excited to talk about, how we have to adjust as a society and how we deal with relating to one another, whether it's on the base level when it comes to building relationships, dating, growing romance through the fucking screen, and then elevating that to your sex and how you want to enjoy one another or enjoy others digitally, since we're in the social distancing era. So we can't wait to get into that conversation. But what we're talking about right now is kind of our WTF of the week, which is our kind of starter warm-up topic. And we're basically talking about now how Zoom is about, just in New York City, they just Cuomo officiated that you can now get married through Zoom legally. So people can now digitally be one through their fucking mobile device. So like, how would you feel about that? And would you do that if you were in a situation where you didn't want to go into the public? I open it up. I throw it out there. Tossed.
Who up? Anyone can go first?
Yeah.
Talking to you.
Any one of you people that are here on the screen right now.
Just jump right into the pool.
Yeah, like come on.
Like, welcome. All right, here you go.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this. I think it's great that people can get married digitally, but I'm like a little. I know we're on Zoom right now, but I'm a little pissed off at Zoom because they've been hacking down on people who want to have their sex parties on Zoom, and I don't appreciate it. Yes,
really?
yes.
That's not cool.
Wait.
Oh, I didn't know about that. What?
Right.
Why?
Right. So what they're saying, you know
break
how
that
you
down.
always like hide shit and some other shit. So what they're saying is they're trying to really crack down on like child pornography, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But you can see if it's goddamn grown folks on Zoom having a good time.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I get it. And I think that like people should be able to get married on Zoom. But I also think that people should be able to have their sex parties on Zoom too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because the Zoom, I mean, they have some nerve seeing how compromised their entire system is systematically, like from top to bottom, their shit is flawed. So like anybody can hack their shit. So for them to even have scrutiny on people who want to have private sex parties through Zoom links, like it's really hilarious. It's like deal with the basics first. Like get your shit together before you start trying to lock people down for trying to be butt ass naked and shaking their ass for each other.
Where they going to instead of Zoom? Are they using something else?
I don't know. I kind of got infuriated on the thread, and then I gave up. I've been trying to keep my stress levels low, y'all. Okay?
Yeah, you gotta do that.
Like the internet and the news has been upsetting me. So I just saw it, and a lot of my friends are sex workers and dancers, and that's some of the way that they make their money through Zoom. And so they're having some challenges with it right now. So I didn't see what people were doing
as a backup.
Combat it.
Yeah. So I want to dive into that too, because in one of the articles we're talking about the, essentially how everybody's flooding digital space now. So people who normally wouldn't get their money, whether we're talking about sex workers, whether we're talking about strippers, whether we're talking about a lot of different people who really didn't have a digital presence for their work, are now having to go online and compete with the people who do it, who have been doing it for a long time. So we're in the era of not only mass consumption on every level, but especially mass consumption of like sexuality, I would say. So my question, since nobody wanted to really get into the marriage question, which is very interesting how y'all got real quiet. Tristan's the only one that answered it because you're engaged. You're engaged. No, it's fine.
I would honestly be upset if I had to do that because, some people want the traditional wedding. Some people want to be able to go. And then, like, you never know. Like, a woman could be, like, cool with it for a second, and then the next, she could harbor those feelings, for years down the line. Do you ever think about that?
Holding it.
Like a woman could be like, well, I really wanted a wedding, but he wanted to do this and blah, blah, blah.
I feel like it's just like a Band-Aid, for now.
Right.
So I feel like people will go get a real wedding.
For now.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the
because
world
really, that's the legal thing.
Different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, but you can't put the rabbit back in the hat, or can you? I guess so. If you can have this option, because I'm just saying. I mean, like, if I can basically, let's go to the courthouse and go get married, because people do that all the time, the shotgun weddings. If you can just be like, yo, all we got to do is log on Zoom and we can go get officiated, it's just gonna create a whole nother kind of paradigm for the way people approach marriage and how just the infrastructure of it, so then which is a whole different conversation on, why are people getting into the space of marriage. I won't go there. That's a whole different can of worms. But honestly, if you can do this, then this normalizes all things related to how we connect with one another, which is a conversation I want to lead into before we get to the
saves money too.
That's true.
You said, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know a lot of people. I have hella friends that did straight up to the courthouse and it's all for bread, because it's like 20. It's 10, 20 racks on a minimum.
Courthouse, and then having my honeymoon alone. Like, I wouldn't be mad at that, because I feel like most weddings are really for other people, anyways.
It's for the party. It's for the
Yeah,
party.
for the party.
It's for the drinks, the open bar.
It's all for the party.
And we know, Tristan, you're a party animal, which is why your wedding is going to be pretty. We know. I get it. I totally get it. You know what I mean? All right. So next topic, then let's discuss how we feel about the normalizing of, again, the way people are currently connecting and meeting. And I think I just want to get a perspective talking about, as I think we have a unique gamut of perspectives from people who are either single in this social dating, social distancing era, like myself, people who are in a relationship, and then we have people who are engaged or who are in a, like, you know, approaching a formal marriage situation. So I want to get, how does it feel right now? And I'll let every perspective speak. The single people can talk, and then the people who are in a relationship, and then people who are in a, you know, a marriage.
You're gonna call everybody out on the show.
Yeah. I mean, like, fuck it, man. That's what we're doing this show for.
Yeah, we
Like,
go round circle.
this is why we're doing this, man. Like, it's not to fuck around, man. It's not to fuck around. I'm sorry, but yeah, like, how are we dealing with trying to connect with people, whether it's romantically, whether it's on a relationship or network level? I'll say for myself. I'll start off. You know,
All
since
right.
you guys want to just be all
Kick it off.
soft. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, like dating right now, I've always been an online dater. We talked about this in previous episodes. Like, I've been getting in since the MySpace era to date myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for real, my first girlfriend off of
Professional
MySpace.
online dater.
Yeah, I guess you say that. And so I've seen the landscape change, and it's changed dramatically now to where everybody's so ADD. Everybody is so not invested in a goddamn thing. So, and Tinder is probably the main reason why Tinder broke online dating. Like, before Tinder, online dating was pretty straight. Like, you pretty much, like, you know what you're getting into. You could check a person's profile out, you could look into their photos, and then you started a gradual progression to how you would connect, whether it's text, phone, etc. Now, because of the swipe era, you can be swiping and having like at least 10 different conversations with someone, and out of those, nothing's coming out of that. Like, everything is basically just fizzles. So we're living in such a saturated era where nobody's spending any time looking at trying to really connect, and the stakes were even low or higher. They were higher when you could actually meet somebody. Now that we're in social distancing, the stakes are even lower, because it's like, oh, I know I'm not even going to meet you, so why am I even wasting my time trying to build a conversation? No, I'm just saying,
the world's gonna open back
devil's
up.
advocate. Well, in the current situation. So that's how it is for me right now. Like, it's really, really pretty garbaggio. But for people who are actually engaging with someone, like, how is it to be in a relationship with someone in this quarantine era, with dealing with all your urges and, you know, all the shit that humans have?
Yeah, so I
Open
think
it up.
that I'm kind of opposite of Amon's experience, where like I never did any kind of online dating. It's always been like the organic route for me. I actually, one of my friends signed me up for, I think, Tinder like last year. So I was on it for a few months, and nothing really happened. I had like a couple of conversations with some people, but it was kind of weird. So I just went back to the organic route. So
To the streets.
I actually
Back to the streets.
went to the streets, and through a mutual friend, I actually met somebody, and we're in a relationship now. Pretty, yeah, things
To this day!
quickly, but to this day, you know, just everything just kind of fell into place. And so we started dating right before like all the lockdowns and all of that stuff hit. So we and yeah, it's funny. She was like, "Yeah, you planned this. Like, you this is your plan the whole time, because you knew this was happening, right?" But now we started dating right before, you know, all the lockdown happened. So when they started announcing, you know, people need to, you know, stay at home orders and all of that, we decided to just partner up on resources. And so it's been a lot like an accelerator program. I think the thing that works for us is that, I think for us, it just worked out because we've both been in relationships before. So we have like that experience. We know the elements of like, you know, each bringing our parts to the table to make things work. And we've actually surprised ourselves at how well things have really come together over really like the past couple months. You know, it hasn't been a long time at all. So, and before that, I was in like a really long relationship for, you know, for the folks who know, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a while. So, yeah, it's been a really good experience. I have no complaints, and I don't want to paint it like it's been all like peachy the whole time. Like, you know, the regular human conflicts of like people being in the same space, confined space for an extended amount of time, like that happens. But I think that just like any relationship, communication is key. So, you know, we push through those hard moments, we communicate, we learn, you know, from each other and learn about each other and keep it moving like that. So
Nice.
yeah.
Straight up.
Okay, cool. So Tristan, I want to get your take or just how has it been going from being in a engaged situation pre-quarantine and post-quarantine? Like, how have y'all been dealing? Like, you know what I'm saying? How have you had to adjust to changing plans, etc.?
Oh yeah, so I think the biggest thing is just not being able to plan and having to push the date, figure out a new date, kind of put in limbo on if you can even set a date. But like as far as the day to day, we're kind of hermits anyway, so we don't really go too many places. So like life in that way hasn't changed, you know. It's still like get up, work on music, create, do something else, you know. But yeah, I think just the not having a plan or trying to plan when we can start a plan is the biggest difference.
Would you ever consider, because let's say that like, you guys are like, we want to do 2020 still, and they're still saying, hey, we don't recommend large gatherings, 100, whatever. Would you consider like having a Zoom setup so people can watch or like be a part of your wedding and just decide to have like
if we do that,
just something to consider. Like,
oh no, either way, if we do a Zoom wedding or a small wedding where like the people we've already been kind of in quarantine with are at the, you know, wedding, then we're still gonna throw the party whenever everything opens up. So.
Like, there's still gonna be a party, just so you know. Party's happening, man, no matter fucking what. Okay, let's keep going down. Go down the line. Miss Ashley, how has your quarantine experience been? We talked about it, I think, on maybe one episode, but give us an update on how you feeling in this quarantine era and social distancing, trying to connect. If you all you care about being single, which is what I'm on right now, you're trying to build something, like, give us your experience.
So I'm kind of like Jack, where a friend, well, actually my cousin, she set me up on Bumble and Hinge. That's what it was. Never did the Tinder thing. I heard it was like a hookup thing anyways, but so we were at, you know, like a little girls' night, whatever. She kind of was like, hey, this is you on this. I was like, no, it's not. So anyways, she made the account. She thought, you know, I don't go out, I work a lot, and I'm a mom, so my dating thing is like I'm kind of cool on it. I know I told you guys before, I kind of had an experience where I caught an ex doing some not so cool stuff. So I played with it a bit. If I get bored, I go on there, but I just don't see anything happening, honestly. It's either guys that don't have jobs most of the time, or
that's funny because they talk about the same apps.
Facts.
or like 2 seconds they want your phone number, and I'm just not into like I want to see it. I mean, my problem is if you're on a dating app, I mean, I feel like I don't have to be on there, but I don't mind being on there. Just to kill time.
Right.
I'm kind of like in a place where I'm like, whatever happens, happens. If it happens, well, I'd rather it happen organic because I'm not ugly, but it's just I don't go anywhere. So,
but what if we're in the era now where you can't meet people because everything is spaced out?
So I had a friend hit me up. We were like best friends in college, and I'm kind of like talking to him now. We're talking every day, but I've gotten to the point too, which kind of sucks, and that it kind of ties into the whole situation because I'm kind of used to being single at this point. So it's like sometimes I like my space. So it's like And I was saying before, I would rather date someone who isn't in the same state as me and we actually have time to get to know each other, that rather than have somebody that's all up under me all the time until like I get to that place. Because I think that when we are in this place of, you know, I don't know, I guess maybe like getting comfortable with yourself, you know.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times in the past, I put up a IG post the other day. I see a lot of people just like being bored and starting up things with boredom instead of like they're going back to exes and they're like hanging out on it with toxic situations. And it's like, okay, y'all are tripping. Like y'all need to take this time to love yourself, to kind of do more self-care. I think it makes a lot of sense to take this time to learn yourself more and to understand yourself more instead of jumping into toxic situations. So, you know, we've been friends for so long.
Gotta punctuate
We have
that.
talked for a long time, but I just feel like it's and then I think the other issue is too that it's like a contest now of who can be harder, who can have the colder heart or whatever. Oh, all right, my boy, like, all right, cool. Oh, you dogged her? All right, let me dog this girl too. Like, okay, you know, like it's the same thing. Even with the females, it's like, oh, all right, I want to check. I want a bag. I don't want no, you know, love or whatever. So I think that it's kind of better to just like get to know yourself around this time if you are single. And I don't know, I'm not rushing for anything, and I'm not lonely. So
I got you. So I think that's a cool transition to getting into our guest, which we.
Did Tia give hers?
Yeah, like I want her to talk. Yeah.
Oh, you was about to transition.
Go ahead. Yeah, give us your. How are you living right now? Like, what do you?
So I think I'm gonna go back to online dating. Online dating has never worked for me. And I think it depends on like where you find your strongest attraction. And my strongest attractions lie in the way somebody smells. So I like tried Tinder, I tried Bumble, I tried all that shit. And I was like, this is terrible. Like I need to like smell your neck and your ears and stuff. So I can't online date.
Because you can't smell the aroma. You can't get the aroma.
I can't smell their hands and stuff. So I really can't do it. And then I'm the type of person who, when I date, it's like, I like to devour the person that I'm dating very quickly. Like, I don't like to waste time, kind of. So it's like like I devour you. What?
Like, you mean like consume them? No, I mean, like, not cannibalism.
Like,
yeah.
Let her talk, man. Let her speak.
Continue. I was just trying to make sure.
And so, like, those type of connections I really can have without meeting somebody in person. And then it's just sort of like that. I believe in love at first sight. So it's like love at first sight / sort of meeting. And that's just never happened when I was online. And then I wanted to follow up with what Ashley said about, like, going back to exes and shit. So many times during this quarantine, I was like, oh, maybe I could just, like, text so-and-so or so-and-so's friend or whatever. And then I had to write this little sticky note to myself. Y'all see it?
Yeah, read it. Read it to the people.
Stop fucking niggas you don't even like. Just stop.
Amen.
It's a good principle to live by.
So that was like my reminder. And so, like, that's
like a Bible verse.
What'd you say?
So it's like a Bible verse.
Yeah.
That's my reminder because it's really hard. It's very challenging. Some people have been trying to trick me into things over the last couple of weeks.
Wow.
You know, sending things in the mail and text. But I've been holding out
Stay strong.
I think they say that this virus is as contagious and as deadly as it can be to some people. I, of course, like, you know, want to stay safe and all that kind of stuff. But it's hard. And you can only watch so much porn and you can only masturbate so much. Like, that's just, I just take a lot of naps.
Yeah. Which is okay. So that gets me into like the real meat and potatoes of us talking about like the reality, right? Like, okay, yeah, let's just say that everything's gonna go the way we want it to go, and in 30 days, 60 days, we can go back to normalcy. But let's say that if that doesn't fucking happen, and that we all are stuck indoors, and that we are going to have to cope with this reality, this new normal. So how do you find ways to embrace like your sexuality and the things that you want, you're trying to get from someone, which is what you do when you're trying to date. You're finding, of course, romance and other connectivities, but you're also finding ways that you are able to get your pleasure point
I don't
across.
do the toy thing, so that's just out of the question for me.
The what? Say it again.
I'm not a toy person. I've never owned a toy.
A toy? Yeah, you don't
Wait.
do toys?
I know this is not what this show is about, but like, you ain't never owned a toy.
Yeah. See, you about to break it down. Go ahead, Tia. Give her the science. Give her the
Can I
science.
run and just get my toy real quick so I can just?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Please. That is what the people want to see.
She said not one, but not a single one ever.
Yeah, man.
She said not.
So I'm just saying So what I'm gonna quote from this article while Tia is going to get her props.
Like, I don't have an issue. Like, I'm so disciplined that I can go like years, like a year or two without it. But when I do it, like, it's over. Like, it's happening every single day. That's it. That's all. Like,
Okay, so I'm gonna read this quote, and this is gonna tie to the fantastic sex toys, dildos that Tia is gonna show us. It says 1 in 5 people right now in the study that they ran reported that they're experimenting with new ways of expressing themselves sexually during the pandemic. So that means that right now people are freakier than they ever fucking been, and we know that if you've been paying attention to IG Live. Not just for, the Tory Lanez milk shows, which have been epic, and for all the types of IG twerk fests and even the little sex parties people try to get off, but IG doesn't let that shit fly, but people try to get it off. Like, there's new ways people are trying to express themselves, and I think it's awesome. What do y'all think about it? And yes, go.
She went and got a toy, change the subject.
No, I didn't. We're still on the same thing. We're still on the same thing. Go ahead. Can we see it? Do you have it?
Yeah. So this is the love of my life.
It looks like a mouse.
I know, it looks crazy, right?
No, it's so futuristic.
Yeah. So it is called a Lilo sonar. And I don't like penetrative masturbation. Like, if it's gonna be any penetration, it's gonna be a bio penis. But if I'm solo,
a bio penis?
Yeah, I don't like dildos either. I want an actual penis attached to an actual person.
Oh, so that's called a bio penis. So
I have one of those.
Is there cyber penis? Yeah, I was like, so there's a non-bio penis.
We have strap-ons, and a lot of trans people feel like strap-ons are an extension of their bodies. But I like biological penises. But this is a very okay. I'm not gonna say that it's dangerous, but I can have an orgasm in like 32 seconds with this.
What?
I feel like I saw a Twitter thread about this, and like the way that women described it, it was like you said, you have to be careful because you can just go into that deep of like ecstasy and have that many orgasms.
I've also heard that like doing that type of thing like messes with your sensitivity.
They say that, but I've not had a problem switching back and forth between masturbation and this
All right.
and having a great time with a partner. And the thing is, like, nothing can, of course, like emulate what this feels like, because it's not even a vibration. It's like it's sonar, the way that dolphins talk to each other. So it's a feeling like I've never felt other than
dolphin basically tonguing you down. It's like a robotic dolphin.
I don't want to think of it that way.
I'm just giving a different context. The
way the vibration is. Because when you think of like a regular vibrator, it vibrates like this, and it's a little bit too rough for my clitoris. But this, you can hover over the clitoris and not even touch it, and you can still feel the vibration through your
science.
Your body.
Yeah. Yes, man. So for the listeners who are obviously from the audio podcast, this is the episode you definitely want to watch. So go to our YouTube and check it out so you can see the actual mouse-shaped form.
This was like a video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, this is a video. But you're in just like in a box. Also, this is going to probably cut off, just so you know, and we're going to come back. And it will be seamless to the listening audience. They won't miss a beat. But we are going to cut off soon. So I'm just letting y'all know that. So I'm going to start.
Actually, you're muted too, by the way.
Who, me?
Ashley.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm joining.
Oh, okay. I'm going to stop the recording. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
All right, cool.
All right, so we're back because we thought we were going to cut off, but it didn't cut off. And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get into. We're just having a chop it up session. This is like the most fluid episode ever because we're really just talking about how we're living life right now. You know what I mean? And people can share what they want to share. You can be as loose or as like however you want to be. This is where we are right now.
Loose as a goose.
Loose as a goose.
I thought you were about to say it.
Like I said to you, I do feel like I am afraid of losing sensitivity because I don't know. Like you said, like I have to have that penis like here, like right here. Like
I do. Wait, listen.
I'm a devourer too. Like, I have to have it.
I'm like an advocate. I feel like they should pay me as much as I talk about this product.
They
Right.
should.
I'm an advocate. This. I've had this for about, I think maybe like 2 or 3 years, and I have several vibrators. I've been using vibrators since I was like 18 or 19. So I'm not gonna completely age myself, but I've had a lot of them, and this is the best one that I've ever had. And they have excellent customer service.
Hey, that matters. That matters.
Yo, y'all need to get her as your
Was
sponsor.
it broken or something before? Like
Yeah, so the first one that I got when I turned it on, it sounded and so I sent it back, and before I even really put it in the mail, they had sent me another one. So I was like, oh, this is like excellent customer service. They have a warranty on it. It comes in several different colors. And I know a lot of people are very conscious about their nerves. And I would say, like, if you've never had any nerve damage before or any like neurological issues or pain issues when it comes to like sex or clitoral stimulation, to just give it a try. They always have sales.
Well, I have another issue. I like head, but I don't like it a lot.
What?
Her responses are great. I love it.
What? I like this too because
I think my audio was messed up. Say it again.
I like it because it's women have a conversation. We're just like flies on the walls.
What is it about it that you don't like?
I don't know. I love penetration. So
I'm a penetration queen. So like I feel like
Whoa.
I also like
Oh my.
it's like ants everywhere, I don't know. But I like head. But the thing is, like, have you not had good head?
Oh, I've had some great head.
So you just don't like it?
It's like I do for too long. It's like, all right, do that. I'm a pleaser. Like I'm a Scorpio, so we're there. But I'm a pleaser. Like I have to know that I'm doing good. Like I like to go down. I like to please my man. Like I like that. But I also just like somebody taking control of me and just going in.
To this day. To this day.
I feel like, and it's probably the princess part of me, is like I feel like I'm pleasing my partner just by being there. Like just by laying there, being naked.
Bars.
And so, yeah, I'm a princess, like when it comes to that, and I like want to be pleased. And I feel like I'm like a female supremacist also. And so I just want all the pleasure, and that has a lot to do with head first. And then, I mean, we go back and forth, but head is always very important to me.
Like I can be a bit bossy, I guess, too.
Really? You don't seem bossy.
Oh, I'm bossy in the head.
Boss.
So sound like you got like a few different modes though. Actually, you sound like it depends on like what. So how
I like that this is a session. This is an Ashley session.
I like to start it off slow and kind of like, sexy and, all that intimate shit. And then I like to go like kind of on some fuck me shit. Like,
have you ever like done BDSM or kink or anything like that?
I don't like that type of stuff. I don't want nobody beating on me and shit. Choke me.
No. Yeah.
But other than that,
it's not all about beating.
She went to whatchamacallit?
Yeah.
1792.
It wasn't like anything I would do.
Ashley went. Amon was supposed to come, but he chickened out.
Oh, you gonna do me like that on air? You gonna
live and direct?
Do me like that on air? That's how
you know what live and direct means?
You gonna do that?
What have we done to the world? Look what we've done.
Why you doing me like that, bro?
It's always just about beating. It's a lot of other things you can do that fall under BDSM and kink. Like my favorite thing to do is delay orgasms, because it's still like part of control, but you're not physically like punching or slapping or pinching your partner.
I don't want that way.
Is that edging? You talking about edging?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I'm not into that. Like I've had sex for hours, like, and it was amazing. Like just
flex.
That's it. No, no, seriously. A few months ago, I didn't even know this could happen. Our chemistry was so crazy, and it was like literally like he knew exactly what to do with my body, and that was that. So I can't say that, you know, I don't know, I'm weird, I'm different, I don't know.
Which is totally okay, and that's what wonderful
Everybody's different,
thing about Sex Down South, which is look at my transition skills. Look how I transition that. That is the wonderful thing about Sex Down South, and I can't wait for Tia to get into that and tell us about what y'all do and like kind of what the reason why y'all decided to create your organization and why you felt there's a need. Because there's all kinds of ways people express themselves in their sexuality, man. And like, there's not really an education space. Like for me, outside of these conversations that I have with my friends that are a part of certain communities, whether it's the LGBTQ or people who live and participate in polyamorous lifestyles, like those are the only ways you get access to an education in some ways in your ignorance to how these communities work. And so I think it's really dope that you all are connected to the intersection of all those kind of communities. And I wanted to get a little bit more of, you know, what's your goal and what are y'all trying to do, especially with your upcoming conference.
I know,
Sex
which is
Down South.
also being threatened by COVID-19.
Yeah. COVID-19. So y'all might have to do see, you might have to find a platform where you could do it virtually, where you might be able to do it virtually.
But it's like the whole part in the whole point of Sex Down South is to communicate.
Break it down.
People, you know what I mean? So like if we had to take it virtual, we would. But you know, it's like a family reunion. You want to hug and kiss on your cousins. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean. And kiss on everybody.
Is that okay?
You want to, you know, have a nap ministry. You want to do those things. So like if we had to take it digital, it would be different. But we don't want to let our movement pause or die just because the world isn't open.
Facts.
But so Sex Down South started as an idea in 2014. I have a business partner named Marla, who is a sexologist and sex therapist. And
shout out.
To do something else that I was working on. And we are like the yin and yang of like everything. I'm a Cancer, she's a Taurus, I'm crazy, she's grounded. We just really, really work well together. And we were sitting down at her coffee table and we're like, oh, we should do a sex conference. Neither one of us had like planned anything to that magnitude. Mm-hmm. And it started off as like a one-day event, and then we just kept talking, and it snowballed into a whole 3-day conference that we just we like put $200 in the bank account, and that's how it all kind of got started. Wow. I had been to other sex conferences before, and they looked like Republican conventions. It was like a lot of old, all white people, which is fine for them. But I didn't feel like I could fully be myself and explore with that type of crowd. And so there was just nothing like Sex Down South that kind of existed at the time. And we wanted a place where people of color were prioritized, but not for play, like for real. Like you're Black, you're a person of color, you're a queer person. This is a safe space for you to come and to be educated, but to also like explore. And that's another thing, like a lot of sex conferences have a huge line of delineation of what they feel like is proper. So it's like, oh, we're education, or oh, we're only kink, or oh, we're only poly, and all that kind of stuff. But all of those like crowds intersect with each other. And a lot of people who are poly also practice kink. You have asexual people who are in relationships with kinky people. So we just wanted a place that everybody could come together and commune and to educate and to play. So that's what we did.
That's awesome. So, okay. In saying that, and again, taking into consideration that our current state is we're all social distancing, and people are finding creative ways to express themselves. We mentioned that before, whether it's artists creating OnlyFans now, which rappers are supposedly gonna start creating, like, so Casanova said he's gonna create a OnlyFans, which is like, nobody asked for that
at all.
Boosie said he will, and he probably will, and that could be intriguing. We don't know. He's like, yo, I got sex tapes in the cut, and nobody wants to see Boosie. But he has a fan base of people that want to see it. I'm sure he's gonna get some money off OnlyFans. Is what I'm saying.
I think everybody will make money as far as like if anybody of celebrity status does it, because people just want to know. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be okay with it, but I think people would clown people and be posting it in the shade room like crazy. So I think a lot of people wouldn't do that. Because once you put it
do.
up, it doesn't go anywhere. That
Right.
good old
That-
screenshot.
People still doing it though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think we're gonna get into the era where, because there is no such thing as privacy, and there really is no such thing as, your rights, as we're gonna see a lot of these things pass because of coronavirus. Like, your shit's already out there, so you're gonna see people who have videos of them butt ass naked online, and it really won't matter. I think we're gonna get into that era where it really won't matter. So I think that's why people are, yeah, oh, you got my screenshots, you on YouTube, you can go on Pornhub and see these IG live twerk sessions. Yeah, and people they repost them. They like, oh yeah, I'm gonna promote this via my OnlyFans. So
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I think it's
that.
worth embracing where the technology and sexuality intertwine, which is really cool that Tia started by showing her modern vibrator, because it's like there's all different kinds of ways people are finding ways to pleasure themselves, whether it's OnlyFans, whether it's Cam Soda, or Chatterbait, you know what I mean? Which, shout out to those joints, because they're fantastic websites.
What's Cam Soda?
It's another cam site.
Oh.
People can camp.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I, we've been talking about our OnlyFans. I don't know if y'all ever seen my feet before, but
No.
I got some feet that could tear up the internet. She looking at me.
Whoa.
Feet that could tear up the internet. So we was talking about maybe putting my feet out there, man.
Yeah, that's a huge community.
Trying to
Foot
get some
fetish
money off
communities,
of it.
man.
You know what I mean?
Some people go crazy over feet.
We can't breeze over this. Like, what is it about your feet?
Yeah. We need to see these feet.
Yeah. See, now you set yourself up, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have the lighting. You don't have the lighting to show you.
The lighting for my feet.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's gonna pop the way you want.
See the
my
feet.
my second toe is just a little bit long, but other than that, I have well-shaped feet.
Oh.
So let me say this: Are you? Do you have a foot fetish, or is that what you're?
I do not at all, but
you want to cater to people who might have.
Hey, some people out there that
I'm not.
They may want to look at my feet, and I may be able to make some money off of it. So
I had somebody look my feet crazy. So
what's that?
They are out there.
They're out there. Yeah.
They're out there.
Wait.
So that's my contribution. That's my contribution.
Oh.
That's your contribution. Is your feet to OnlyFans?
Yep.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a thought of getting an OnlyFans?
No.
I mean, no.
No.
Yeah, I mean for my feet. Yeah.
He's gonna do one. He said he's gonna do one for his feet. He's gonna do one.
Yeah.
So okay, that's fine. So you're finding ways to innovate during the quarantine. I want to get from you, Tia, and especially from Sex Down South, or even from what you've seen, or if you have been observing, how other communities are finding ways to. So, for example, there's this article about the polyamory, people who live a polyamorous lifestyle. How is that dampered via social distancing, and how is that being impacted depending on what how many partners you might have? I'm just interested in how people feel the social distancing era is going to impact how they currently approach the sexual things they were doing, and how they're going to have to adjust, in the coming time.
I think it all just depends on it starts with what a person's beliefs are. Because, there are probably people out here who don't believe in STDs and they don't believe in all this stuff.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Don't believe in STDs?
You ever seen these people? I'll probably send you some links. But
nah, bro.
Yeah,
no.
and so there are people, and there are also people who don't even believe that we need to be social distancing. But I think if you care about your partners and you give a damn about your health, you are going to take the proper measures to social distance.
Starts with that self-love.
Yeah, until you know for sure that you are not infected, and then also because it's you don't know if you're infected because some people don't have symptoms, so we really have to really quarantine for real, not for play, for 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know it's affecting a lot of people. I'm super solo poly right now, so I don't have this problem, but a lot of my friends are having challenges because they can't see their partners. But then people are sneaking out.
What's solo poly? You got to break some of the lingo down.
And I hate all these stupid titles because they give me a
they're
headache.
really complex and confusing.
They are very complex, but I'm a polyamorous person or I'm an open person, but I'm solo. So I'm I'm non-monogamous, and I'm not solo poly. I'm single right now. So I'm single and polyamorous.
Okay.
So does that
So-
mean like, okay, if you're dating, then you guys both like, have, other partners, or is it, and when you're single, you still will join other people pretty much, right? Or am I wrong?
Well, the way that my poly looks is just like I'm an open relator. So I don't join into other people's relationship. I just, because I'm heterosexual. So I just date men, several men. I really like to just date 2 people at a time. It's like my best. I'm at my best at 2.
It's your
But,
best ratio? Your best
Yeah,
number?
that's my ratio. But there are people who are in like quads and triangles and hinges and all kinds of shit. But I'm just 2 is good for me.
Wow. So
What's a hinge?
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like you
So hinge is like, say, we use I need 2 other hands. But say like this is me, right? So I'm a hinge, and say I'm like dating Amon and you're down here, right? And then I'm also dating Tristan, but you guys are not dating each other.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I didn't know there was a name for that.
Yeah, it's a name for everything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So that's why that's really why I think what you all are doing is important, because education. So are there sessions or classes and things like that you have at the conference where you break down if somebody wants to know about, okay, like I'm interested in polyamory, but I don't know how the fuck to do it, and I don't know where to go, and I don't know anybody who's living that lifestyle.
Everything at the conference.
Does that mean like you don't like to date, or does that mean that you just want to explore?
No, it just means I'm non-monogamous. I love to date.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I date married men because they've like already kind of been beaten into submission, and I don't have to like ask them to do stuff. They just already know what to do. That's like my favorite type of person to date.
Are you not afraid of like the drama that can come with it?
I'm a Cancer. So I'm they could be afraid of me.
Straight up.
Whoa. Whoa, gotta drop a bomb on that. So awesome. So Sex Down South, you all will determine. I know it's set for September, but you will be flexible.
If the world opens back up, it's set for September 10th through the 12th, and it'll be at the Sheraton downtown. And we have over 80 workshops over the weekend. We have a healing space. We have our own dungeon, complete with a cage that Tristan.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Wait, break that down. Break that down for the listeners,
that's not
please.
A dog cage. I'm like,
break that
dog
down
cage?
for the listeners, please.
Is it a big cage? Like, what is it?
Oh,
It's a human cage.
So it's a human size cage. You can fit about 6 people in there.
A human-sized cage.
Is
Okay,
it
cool.
almost like those big dog kennels?
No, and I'll show you.
Wow.
I have to ask.
Wait, you have a human-sized cage in your house?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Come on, man.
Where you think she keep the married man?
Damn, it's real life up in here, man.
Oh, you see it, Stacy? Don't look at my butt.
Oh,
Wow.
You see it?
we can't see it.
Yeah.
Oh no, we can see the cage. We can see the cage,
Yeah.
but we can't see your
So
butt.
like 6 people can fit in it. We have sex swings.
6 people can fit in that, or
Yeah.
you have like
You
no.
saw half of it. You saw half of it, but 6 people can fit in.
Oh, okay.
We
Is it
have-
real tight? Like, are you crouching? Like, are you?
Yeah, so like get into the cage and just sit down Indian style. 6 people can fit sitting down.
So okay, let's pause. Let's pause. Go. Would you say? Ash?
I said, how do they move around and have sex? Like that has.
Yeah,
to
I just want to. How do you get into this? Like, how do you get? Is there like a IKEA for sex cages? Like, for real, break it down for me.
IKEA.
Oh, so it's I can't think of his business name, but this guy named Daniel. He's a Black-owned sex equipment creator. I don't know what his title is, but he made us a sex cage, and he made
Based in Atlanta?
No, he's in DC.
Okay.
So he built all of it up there and then drove it down. Then he made us 2 St. Andrew's crosses, and then we also have 2 sex swings and 2 spanking benches.
What are all of these things that you're?
So so a St. Andrew's cross is not put together. It's in the spare room, but it's like a cross that you can get tied up to.
Oh.
And then so
like Jesus
forward,
of Nazareth.
Yeah, or backwards. And then the spanking bench looks like a little horse that you just kind of ride on and then get spanked.
Oh, okay.
And everybody knows what a sex swing looks like. but it's like a independently
No.
suspended event.
What is that?
So is this like all set up in like one room? Is it like
It's
your
like opposite ends of the
amusement?
spectrum. I
Your
love it.
amusement? Is this
It's
like your?
a dungeon. So it's
Mhm.
one of the rooms in the conference space is, excuse me, it's like pretty big, and so we just set up all the equipment in there, and then on the other side we'll have workshops.
So you can say, hey, I want to come to this conference. That's cool. You guys are having these fucking conferences talking, but I want to go straight to the sex cage, and you can go straight to the dungeon and get it in.
Yeah, we
That's
have a
what's
dungeon
up,
master
man.
and an assistant to make sure that people are, following the rules. We have sex toys that you can rent, and
Rent.
it's just good. It's just a good time.
So Tristan, when you're down there and somebody's not following the rules, you be like, hey, like how do you regulate things?
You go. Tristan's gonna be the dungeon master.
I know.
I was like,
What?
I haven't been to the conference yet. I just
Oh,
heard
I
Okay.
thought she said Tristan was gonna be running the dungeon. My bad, I misheard that.
Experience the whole thing this year.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
next
I want to
year.
pull
Okay.
up. I definitely want to pull up. Yeah.
Oh,
for
you sure you want to pull up? You sure?
Yeah, it's black. This is black. Like I gotta just for the
But this
I have
is
to.
the thing.
This is science. It's for science, man.
This is the thing
Nice,
about the
yeah.
conference is like people who are vanilla or who are novices are there things for them to do also. They're like a lot of one-on-one classes. Some things are just specifically about healing. Some things are just about instructionals. We have extended education credits. So some things can be taken and then go towards your college credits. So there are things for everybody. But then we have like 201 classes and 301 classes for people. So we always unleash our schedule like 30 days before so people can kind of map out which days they want to come, what days they're most comfortable. And some things, even though it's a sex conference, every single workshop is not going to be specifically about sex.
Right.
There'll be some things about education, HIV awareness, healing, like all kinds of stuff.
You got to do like a photography class too?
Oh yeah, we have photography classes. Like the first part of it'll be like a 2-part class. The first part, everyone will have their clothes on. The second part, everyone's clothes come off. So we just have something for everybody. And we always tell people, if you get uncomfortable, we have like volunteers and healers like walking around. If you get uncomfortable, you get overwhelmed, flag somebody down, they come and save you. They go put you in the healing space so you can cool off, relax. You can go back, go to your room, or do whatever.
I think that's really dope to have like a safe space for you guys to do all of that.
You have to, because sex is great until someone is triggered or someone is traumatized.
I like the fact that you're so you're educating each other too. I think that's really amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And you got to have aftercare also. You know what I mean? Like, I think it would be irresponsible if we didn't.
I think this is fire. That's the reason why we had you on the show. Thank you so much for sharing. Tell people how they can connect with you on social media or how they can learn more about Sextile South.
So if you have any questions, you can email me at tia@sexdownsouth.com. If you want to go to the website, it's www.sexdownsouth.com. And if you want to connect on Instagram, it is SDSCon.
Thank you so much. I think you guys should like explore, even if we do a physical, you're able to do it in the physical space, like the online education piece for stuff like this. There is a huge opportunity, especially in the Black and brown space, because there's people that want to learn and know about these communities, and there isn't. Like I can go look up polyamory online and watch some YouTube Wikipedia type article, but to actually connect with Black and brown people who are educated, intelligent, and like savvy, there is not content out there like that. So please like, think about that too.
Touch everybody.
But we got, we can touch and be not touched. I don't, that doesn't make any sense. But thank you, Tia. We appreciate you, and we hope that you continue to be a boss and live your best life.
Thank you. Did you believe me like 15 years ago?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. We back.
You don't know who I am?
I do. The truth. It's from the Truth Tour. It was like way back when. It says a story for another time. It was a lot of shenanigans. A lot of shenanigans.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. You too.
Everybody.
I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna for real
sure.
pull up. Tristan, me and Tristan gonna pull up to the Sex Down South.
I'm coming
for
too.
sure.
Yes,
Okay, Ashley.
Podcast.
we should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's
Bam.
do it.
Oh, and we have
Real digital good time.
We have to talk.
Oh,
Okay.
let's do it. Let's chop it up. Thank you, Tia.
All right, thanks, guys.
Peace.
All right.
Deuces.
All right.
All right, so this is a longer episode than we normally have because we're just kind of shooting the shit, basically. And I'm okay with that. You know, not everything has to be structured and all, like, you know, and everything has
He's
to be.
convincing himself right now.
Yeah,
T, I'm
no,
talking to
yeah, I
myself.
am. Yeah, it's totally fine. It's totally fine.
Okay.
But I know that they're gonna be like, we're all over the place with this episode. But I think that's life sometimes, and that's like the way we deal with sexuality and the way like everybody's in different parts of their life where you're exploring and deciding what you want, and that's life. Like we literally each have a different perspective on that, and I think that's really cool about what Sex Down South is doing. That they're trying to cater to as many of those, as many people as they can, from education to people who are into the hardcore kink, you name it. So
I like the comfortability that it presents as well, and I like the comfortability that our show has given as well. With you introducing the topic and allowing us all to kind of like come out of our shells when it comes to like talking about it, because we can do these things, but it's like a thing, like an unwritten thing that you don't talk about what you do.
Taboo. We out of the taboo era, man. We in the new.
And I think there's other people that experience the same things that I think that I've been through, but I just don't.
For sure.
No.
You're not alone. You're speaking. That's what I'm saying. We're each speaking to a specific group of people, man, living their life. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the picks now, as we bring this episode to a close. This is picks of the week. So, everybody, we'll just go around robin. Anybody want to go first?
I'll go ahead. I got a keyboard to start practicing with the new band, so that's what I've been listening to.
Yeah, what's the name of the band again, so the people know?
Narwhals.
The Narwhals, which is the unicorn dolphins, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Unicorn dolphins. Yeah, I'm just this is there.
I've been watching Westworld, trying to see what's going on because they always, which
Fire.
is like,
It's
it's like, man, it's like a movie.
I haven't gotten into it yet. The third season.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's interesting because it has a similar theme and narrative to one of my favorite shows out right now that's called Devs, which I've talked about it before.
Oh yeah.
But that's whatever. So that's your pick.
Oh, and Leslie Jordan on Instagram. That guy's hilarious.
What?
You know Leslie Jordan?
He's an IG comedian?
No, he's an actor, but he's just gotten on Instagram, has just been like talking so much, but he's been going viral. I'm gonna put it up so you can hear it.
Yeah, you got a clip.
Well, shit, what are y'all doing? I'm watching beginner yoga.
Look it up, he's hilarious.
All right, we'll put that in the pack. I haven't even mentioned that, but hopefully you all get the idea that each episode has a resource guide attached to it, which will have all the links to the picks of the week. It'll also have resources. It's got all kinds of fire-ass shit that will help you in your digital life. So check it out. The Digipack, you can get to it in the newsletter. You can also get to it via our social media, Facebook, etc. That's my plug for the week. All right, who's next?
I will go next. I am really into that new Division album.
Yeah,
Amused in Her
dropped.
Feelings.
What's your favorite track?
Between Us.
Who's on that? Is that just them, or is there a feature on that?
No, hold on.
I haven't listened to it yet. I like Division a lot. I haven't listened to it yet.
No. SNOH.
Snow Algebra Snow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Pretty dope, yeah.
She's amazing. Division. All right, Division's new project. OVO. They've been going back to back because Party Next Door just dropped.
Really waiting for that whole thing to drop, and I'm just like,
It's giving you the feels. Does it give you the feels?
All the feels. All the feels.
All right, there we go. Well, that might be connected to our previous conversation. Well, that was cool. All right. Your turn, Jack.
I was
take it home.
Pretty excited for the return of Playboy Cardi. Though it's only a single. Meh, as it's called.
Meh.
Isn't it at Meh?
Or is
no,
it
just
at
Meh.
I thought it was just Meh.
It's just
Yeah, it didn't disappoint. I'm a big Playboy Cardi fan, and actually I'm a Uzi fan as well. I don't know if they got like a little tension going on, but I hope that that's not the case and they can make some music together again because they have a special chemistry. So yeah, and then in terms of like on things I've been watching, I just been watching a lot of like stuff on like cults. And I just been watching like all the cult documentaries. Like I'm really fascinated with these like personality cults and stuff. So I've just been kind of going through. Of course, you know, like probably one of the best ones is Wild Wild Country. If you've never watched Wild Wild Country about Osho.
I've heard about that. Yeah, I've heard about that.
You need to watch it.
Is that on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. Yeah, it's like maybe 6 episodes. Each of them is like maybe an hour long or something like that. But it's very captivating, and I think it's amazing that all of what took place, and most of us don't even know about it. Like, and it was like pretty major. It was pretty major situation.
You said that's called Wild Wild West?
It's called Wild Wild Country.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's on Netflix. I would recommend that one probably first. Yeah, so
cool.
Cardi and Osho.
Cool. All right, so I'll take it home.
I want everybody in America to take a moment and look at this right here.
I just wanted to play that
wait
clip.
For that, huh?
Yeah, I just wanted to play that clip. And
what have we done to the world? Look what we've done.
So I just wanted to play those clips. So yeah, this has been an interesting episode. My final picks will be that I got a few. Musically, I would say check out Kent Jams and Buddy just dropped a duo project. If you're not familiar with Buddy, you should just check him out because Buddy's
solid.
Dope. Yeah, Buddy's been dope for a long ass time. He was signed to Pharrell for a while. He was like a writer for Pharrell, and he's just been dropping bangers for quite a minute. And Kent Jams used to be in this group called Overdose, and he was like the lead out star from them. They got a banger of a project, so definitely check that out. And then they dropped the Chopped and Screwed version of Don Toliver's project, which is Fuego, and it's perfect timing for the holiday season coming upon us. Speaking of the holidays, I want to shout out my squad and my people's Woodfire. The good homie Lord Biscuit and Dr. Love are dropping Tree Masons, which is a 420 release. And so by the time this episode drops, it'll already be out. You already know what it is. Woodfire is a squad, and they just got incredible music. And, it's always a holiday, depending on how you get down. So, yeah, those are my music picks. And then TV show, again, I can't say enough. I recommend everybody check out this show called Devs. It's a mindfuck of a show about reality and the nature of how we perceive reality and its connection with technology. It's fucking incredible. Everybody should check it out. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's I'm going to say that's going to be our show. And this is what I got to say. One more thing.
Corona be gonna. Corona be gonna. Corona be gonna. Corona be gonna.
That's how we're ending the show. Yeah, man, we know we want it to be gone, but I hope everybody's, participating and practicing self-care, as this episode is pretty much designed to speak to however you're taking care of yourself, whether you're masturbating, whether you're not, whether you're fucking, whether you're not, whether you're doing whatever you need to do to get yourself through in a healthy way. More power to you. We hope we've given you some resources to get through that. This is Digital Good Times, man. Y'all got anything else you want to say? No? All right, then we out. That's the end of this recording. Peace.